Get rocking and awesome, folks. So wherever you're watching from, I know some of you are watching on our live streams, and some of you are here on Zoom. I'm really excited to share with you Danica's story. And by the way, Danica, I think I keep on saying Donica, but I think it's Danica, correct?
It's Danica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I keep on. I don't know why I'm saying it that way, but I'm really excited for you to share your story of how you got started with CCI, with basically kind of starting your business from a very minimal place. So let's just dive into this to give people a bit of an idea of where you started, where you got to, what strategy you used. And this is a no secrets interview, so Donica, you can share anything. Okay, you can
Okay.
share anything. Don't hold back any punches. So
Okay.
go introduce yourself to people, who you are, the work you do, and let's dive into this.
Awesome. So I'm Danica. I live in BC on the west coast of Canada. I was a nurse for t over 12 years in acute care, and it just wasn't quite aligning anymore with me. And I have four little kids, so the shift work was really tough.
Yeah.
And my family and I have a dream to travel. As you can see, I like live on a sailboat.
I love it.
So I wanted something that I could do from anywhere. And
Yeah.
so I left nursing about, oh my gosh, like 5 years ago, almost 6 years ago,
Okay.
and went back to school for nutrition and some extra diabetes education.
Yeah.
And really started like zoning into working with diabetics. It's close to home. I'm type 1 and was never really impressed with the care that I received. And I thought that there was just a big gap. So I went back to kind of fill that gap.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. Love the work you do, and it's obviously so needed. So let's kind of dive into this a little bit. So obviously you were thinking about starting to build online,
Yeah.
and what kind of actually what was the first thought process of like hiring a mentor? Because for some people they're like, I'm going to try this all out on my own. I don't need a mentor. And other people just right off the bat they go and find a mentor. What was kind of like your thought process starting to build online?
I was looking for a mentor for a while. I knew that the business part and the growth part was not my area of expertise.
Yeah.
So I love working with clients. I love the just the work that I get to do with everybody.
Yeah.
But I knew the business side and the marketing, I have zero clue. So I was looking pretty early on in the journey for help with that side.
Okay, there
Yeah.
you go.
Yeah.
I know you just kind of stumbled across one of our videos one day.
Yeah.
What caused you to actually reach out and be like, hey, let's see what these folks have actually?
Yeah, so the other like they were coming up because I was looking for people. So
Of
all
course.
different coaching programs were coming up in my feed all day. And what attracted me to CCI from the start was that it was geared towards nutritionists. And
Yeah.
I felt like somebody working with somebody that really understood how that niche functions and works was really important to me because some of the other coaching programs I looked at were more like fitness orientated or
Sure.
stuff like that. So I that's what really caught me was the nutrition aspect.
That makes sense. That makes
Yeah.
sense. So you dove into the program, you made a
Yeah.
scary investment.
Yeah.
What was your hope in the program? What was your hope of like, I hope I can get to this level with the business in the 6 months of working with us?
So I my goal was like at my in my sixth month to get four clients. That was my
Or
goal. So working and working my way through, and then four clients in my sixth month was kind of my goal.
okay.
And so that's kind of where I started. Yeah.
I love that. I love that. I love when
Yeah.
people like, I always love to underpromise and overdeliver. That's my favorite thing in the world. Also, it's a good tactic, by the way. It makes people very happy.
Yeah.
So, how many weeks are you like 9, 10 weeks into the program?
I'm like just 9.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
You're just 9 weeks into the program.
Yeah.
So, tell people about the first 9 weeks, how they went, and yeah, how that's all working for you.
Sure. So when I started with my consultant,
Yeah.
I promised myself my entire strategy was just to do what he said.
Yeah.
So I wasn't questioning anything. I just took his action steps and I just literally, he said, make this, and I made that. And he
I
said,
love that.
like create this piece. And I would just like create the piece with the outline. Like I just promised myself I'd check the boxes. And then that process with my consultant took a whole month. So for 4 weeks,
Hmm.
We started, my Instagram page that just had like a couple friends and family followers, priming my Instagram, figuring out my ideal target client and zoning in on my niche. So it
Hmm.
was like all that background stuff, and I worked pretty hard on it for about 4 weeks. So
I mean,
sorry.
that's the foundation, right? We
Yeah.
always say you can't build a house unless you got the foundation built.
Yeah.
So it took 4 weeks of just
Yeah.
like priming the social media, getting your pinned posts up,
Yeah.
getting your ideal client avatar clear, your offer
Yeah.
was clear. So that took 4 weeks where we weren't even trying to get clients, we were just trying to prep you.
Yeah, making my value piece and any other things that I wanted to offer to potential clients. So yeah, it took about 4 weeks, and it was, for like full-time work for 4 weeks. So it was a lot of work up front.
Yeah.
And then I boosted the post, and that kind of changed everything. Yeah.
Okay, so let's talk people through that because a lot of people who are watching here have heard me talk about Instagram boosted stuff or our mini ads on Instagram.
Mhm.
What happened in your experience when you turned on the mini ads? And yeah, what's been the result now, the 5 weeks after that?
Yeah. So 5 weeks ago, I had 55 followers on Instagram. Like I said, it was all friends and family, just, supporting my new venture of nutrition. And I made the reel with my consultant. Again, I just checked the boxes of making the reel
Perfect.
in the
You're the
way.
perfect client,
Yeah,
Danica.
he wanted it
You're
to
just
look.
like they said to do this, and I did it. You're the
Yeah.
perfect client, just
Well,
so you
I
know. So
I just
kudos
like
to you.
didn't know anything. So I'm like, this is why I invested in these people, and this is what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna do what they say.
Yeah,
So I made the reel, filmed the B-roll, put the text on the screen, made the caption, and boosted it. And it took off pretty quickly. Within 24 hours, I was getting consistent, like over 100 a day followers.
100
Yeah.
followers. Yeah,
Yeah.
which is just
And
crazy, which is great.
yeah. And so that's sustained until now. So my average, I think, is like 98 followers a day for the last 5 weeks.
And now a lot of people are nervous when they're like, hey, all these followers, they're like, are these even the right people?
Mhm.
What have you felt so far? Like, have you felt like majority are pretty good quality people? These are my people. How has that felt?
So, I have lived in my DMs for 5 weeks,
Yeah,
messaging everybody, and my response rate has been really, really, really good.
right.
I think it's hovering around 50% response rate for my initial message
That's
that I
great.
sent out.
Yeah.
And so from the feedback that I get after that initial message, I mean, very, very few of them are not relevant to my niche.
Mm,
Like minuscule amount.
I
Everybody
love that.
is either, diabetic, pre-diabetic, has a type 1 kid. Like everybody seems to really fit into my target market. So,
Which is perfect. I always
yeah,
say like audience growth is like water. You need to have the right amount per day, but also the right quality per day,
yeah,
right? If
yeah,
it's like really shitty water, but like you have lots of it, it's still not that useful for you. Like that's an audience that's massive, no ideal clients in it.
yeah.
Vice versa, if you have the purest of waters, but you only have like 6 ounces a day, you might not survive on that, right?
Mhm,
And
mhm,
so you need to have both in. And that's where like having the right type of boosted post is getting you not only tons of these people, like almost
mhm,
100 a day, but
mhm.
also the right quality because you've targeted them specifically. So
Yeah.
obviously, this is a lot of leads coming to you. So we obviously here at CCI teach when these leads come in, we want to then warm them up, build a relationship, and get them on some type of discovery call. How did it go being taught like how to have conversations with these people and book these people as calls? How quickly from when you turn on the boosted post actually, when you're being taught how to have conversations, did you start to have your first couple people actually book like sales calls with you
So I started booking calls for the following week.
the following week?
Yeah. So then I had a crash course in the sales module.
Perfect. You quickly went through the sales. Yeah.
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 Yeah. So I started booking for the following week. And they've been pretty consistent since then.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah.
love that. I love that.
Yeah.
And as far as like whether it's part of the DM process or the sales process, what strategies that you've been taught either by your consultant here at CCI, your one-on-one consultant, or the modules, have you found like most helpful when it comes to the DMs or like the sales process?
I think the structure that we're taught in the messaging is probably the most helpful for me. Because I kind of go into the chatty friend zone. And what I
Yeah.
found with my niche market is that the people I'm talking to really want to talk about their diabetes. Like they
Right.
really want to talk about it.
For
So
sure.
it's easy for me. It would be really easy for me to just like
Mhm.
start helping and giving advice in the messaging because people are so desperate for help. So that was
100%.
really good structure for me to have to kind of set up a protocol in place so that I didn't go that way and I could try and get them on a call instead. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's so easy to get in that friend zone
Yeah.
where like you're basically just coaching them for free. And
Yeah.
that's where like, I mean, and I'm sure you've been taught this here at CCI, but it's like, okay, we acknowledge what they're going through in their conversation. We
Mhm.
acknowledge, we even can relate to it, but then we always move to the next question because you're not here, like you're kind of in that doctor frame. You're not here to just like have a casual conversation. You're here to help them actually.
Yeah.
And just giving them a couple tips in the DMs is not as helpful as them actually working with you,
Yeah.
right? Which
Yeah.
I just think is so beneficial. Now, by the way, folks, if anyone does have questions, like while we're watching this, whether you're watching on the live stream here or on Zoom, you can comment them down below. We can answer some questions. So people want to know, have you actually gotten clients on? By the way, Kate, this is gonna be fun. Do you know how much you've spent so far on the mini ads in the last, because it's been five
Oh,
weeks of actually spending money.
yeah. I want to say it's probably almost $400 Canadian.
Okay,
Canadian.
so $400 Canadian. Okay, $400. Now I want you to tell people how much you've contracted in Canadian because it's mind blowing.
Yeah, so 4 weeks on sales calls, I've contracted 17,500 in
I
clients.
can't even do the
Yeah,
math on what the return on investment is on that, but that's somewhere about what is that?
pretty good.
A 40 times
Mm-hmm.
return on investment. And
Mm-hmm.
that's when you know the systems are working, right? Because there's a lot of ad strategies out there that will give people, let's say, a five times return, where they spend $1,000, make a $5,000, which by the way, you can still build a business off of that. But to
Mm-hmm.
spend $400 to contract 17,000 in some, that's
Mm-hmm.
just such a profitable business. Plus,
Mm-hmm.
and I've looked at your profile. Now your organic content that you're posting is getting thousands of views.
Mm-hmm.
Where before, when you had 55 followers, it probably would get, I don't know, maybe 60, 70, 80 views, right? And
Yeah, yeah,
now that audience that you built, not only have you monetized already, but you could continue to monetize it from just the audience, like the almost 5,000 people that you have.
hmm
So has the program so far exceeded your expectations of hoping to get to four clients by month six?
yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah,
I mean,
my goals have changed now.
good. I
Yeah,
love that.
yeah.
So here's a question we have from Ben. And by the way, folks, if you got other questions watching here about getting clients off of Instagram, comment down below. I have like so many cameras going, so I keep a looking all the way around. But Ben's asking, are the frameworks for moving people through DMs the same for every niche? Now, this is a great question, Ben. Most of the time, they absolutely are. So, the framework for DM conversations is probably 90 to 95% the same for everyone. Obviously, you're going to use different words, different verbiage, but the framework of what type of conversation you should be having is basically the exact same. So, that's a really great question. And actually, while we're waiting for other questions, Danica, I'm not going to say Donica, Danica,
Mhm.
is and again, and you can just say this, right? You don't have to any secrets. What has been your framework of like, what do you talk about in the conversations? What's like the kind of the big pillars that you talk about before you like get someone on a sales call?
Hmm. So the best strategy I have found is most people who have diabetes or pre-diabetic, they have a lot of traditional healthcare at their disposal, and that's what they've been trying.
Yep.
So, and they're coming to me and following me usually because they're not happy with the help that they've been getting. So the most helpful thing for me usually is to kind of, as Cassie would say, like make sure there's a gap.
Mm.
Um, and that it's selling the fact that I don't work like those traditional practitioners or healthcare professionals, and that I have more to offer than what is in their toolbox. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So kind of understanding what they've gone through in the past, right? Kind of
yeah,
asking them, what have they tried? Why hasn't it worked?
yeah,
And then you're basically like, basically you're finding out where they are in their timeline. And
yeah,
then you're being like, well, have you considered this? Or have you
yeah.
considered getting someone to help you with this? Because it would be different. And this is, I mean, this is great marketing as well, because people are more likely to buy something different than something slightly better.
hmm
If you're like,
hmm
oh, I'm slightly better than that program, people are more likely to buy something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guessing how you're kind of positioning yourself.
Yeah, and most people don't realize that there's more to be done. So making sure that they know that, the frustrations are normalized and that there's like other solutions to what they're navigating.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. That's great. I don't think we got any other questions here, folks, but last question I have for you, Danica. Are there any other strategies that you've been taught at CCI, whether it's like the value piece part or whether it's like the posting organic content, or whatever it is that you have also found to be extremely helpful in the entire process that you want to share with anyone?
Um, Yeah, I think something that's come up a lot lately is like time management
Yes.
and making sure that, like, first and foremost, I'm serving my clients and then kind of like using the rest of your time in the way that grows the business the most. Like you talk about this all the time. Like, how are you spending your time? Is it moving the business forward? Is it making you money? Are you able to sign new clients? So, trying to stay focused on those actions rather than like doing busy work
Yeah.
that doesn't necessarily need to be done right away.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's where someone came to me, this was a couple of weeks ago, being like, "Hey, I'm almost done setting up this, so that I can take on clients." And I just responded and I said, "Just so you're aware, 90% of our clients who are at 10K months, 20K months have none of those this
Or
things.
we're still working on it.
We're still working
Yeah.
on it. They
Yeah.
don't have CRMs. Most of them don't have email
Yeah.
lists. Most of
No.
them
No.
don't have like this fancy stuff set up. And
Yeah.
this is the biggest reason 80% of entrepreneurs go out of business in first 2 years is cash flow. Okay,
Mhm.
that's the biggest reason. And so many people delay cash flow because they think they have to have all this perfect
Mhm.
stuff set up, right?
Yeah.
And I just think like from deep down, I care about people sustaining businesses and being profitable and also
Mhm.
serving people because you have gifts. You are placed on this earth to help people.
Mhm.
And if you're not helping people, not only are you unfulfilled, you're also not making money. Therefore, you're going to be out of business, not helping anyone, right? I
Yeah.
get really fired up about helping great coaches who are really gifted make great money. So that's coming out here. Um, Last question we have here, and then we might be done for the day, folks. If there's any other questions, put them down quickly. Ben was asking, how much content per week are you creating? Reels, stories, posts, etc.
Do you want me to answer that one?
Yes, because I
Okay.
don't actually know how many you're creating.
So content wise, it's one thing that I'm working at getting more of a routine with. And it's something that is does not come easily to for me to do. So it's a little bit more of a struggle for the content, but right now I'm making sure showing up in my stories every day. Even if it's like a simple slide with what I'm doing for my business today. And then I'm trying to post 3 to 5 either posts, carousels, or reels a week. That's
Yeah.
kind of my goal at the moment.
Right. So
Yeah.
it's basically almost like once a day, Monday through Friday, of like a post on your feed,
Yeah.
and then one, maybe a couple stories per day, which a lot of people get this wrong. They think they need to be posting like 5 times a day on their feed and da 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 da. Which, I mean, if you're able to do it, it's not a bad thing, but you
Mhm.
don't need it if you have those followers coming in and the conversation's happening, right?
Mhm. Yeah.
Like back in the day when we didn't have the followings growing that quickly with like boosted stuff, yeah, we would have to post more to like get more engagement.
Yeah.
But there are these systems now where you don't have to do it, which is
Mhm.
pretty great.
Mhm.
So yeah, I love it. Last question from Ben. I will answer this, Ben. I know I love all your questions. So all these leads were pretty much only from the boosted
Yeah.
post. I would
Yes.
think, I mean, I'm guessing all of your clients came from the boosted post?
Um, I think all but one
All
came
but
from
one.
my boosted points post. Yeah.
And then the other one, was that just someone that kind of you knew in life?
Yeah, like a couple steps removed that joined into the Instagram and saw what I was doing and signed
Okay.
up. Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I
Yeah.
love that. That's a great question because yeah, if all the clients were coming from other things and you're spending money on boosted posts, that would
Yeah,
make
no.
sense to boost the post, right?
Yeah.
We're not growing a following just for the sake of growing a following. We're growing an engaged,
Yeah.
targeted following that actually will become clients. Okay,
Yeah.
folks.
Awesome.
Danica's really busy because, as you can tell, she's getting a lot of clients and a lot of followers. So, thanks for jumping on, folks. We are going to be logging off for the day. And so, if you have any other questions, or if you heard this and you're like, dang, I need to get results like this, go ahead and send me a message. We would be more than happy to work with you. We have a little fun December special going on. Because we know a lot of people like to delay things to January, we're doing something fun in December so that you're not delaying things and kicking things down the road. So that being said, folks, I'm going to stop the recording now. It's going to take me about 20 seconds to turn off all of my cameras, and I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day. Bye for now, folks.